And we should see the green flag as they come to the start-finish this time. With just a few more minutes, though, as yet we've had no official word that this is a timed race. We're still waiting for that. Though logic says that it has to be with 64 laps complete. And keep an eye on the Newman-Haas team at the front. In fact, keep an eye on all those guys at the front. They know that this is the last chance to really make a move. This restart, Christian Fittipaldi's had some great restarts, 2 of them so far today. Really knows how to bring them back. Already he's under power. Up through the gears. Michael stayed with him this time. In fact, Michael stuck right with him. DeFerrin anticipated that as well. All of the leaders running right together through the first corners now. Michael and Christian begin to pull away.
I think everybody has seen that restart too many times today. They weren't going to be caught.
Oh, Michael comes to the inside. Michael goes for the lead, and Michael comes around, takes the lead from Christian. Little mistake cost Christian dearly there. Now DeFerrin's lining up on Christian Fittipaldi.
He got out there just wide again, and he couldn't turn the car.
Now Scott Pruitt as he comes charging up through the field now as Scott Pruitt moves ahead. There's DeFerrin, and there is the reason that Pruitt is forward. It's Paul Tracy, and he's off the edge of the course. So Tracy, who was running in 4th, suddenly veers off course, and the second Penske car is in trouble.
And again, he's signaling, try to get him back. He doesn't think his car's damaged. He doesn't want to lose that spot. That's on the corner leading onto the straightaway.
Yeah, but I don't think there's enough time to make a difference now, as they've just announced that in about 9 minutes this race will end. And no, they go full course yellow, so maybe Tracy still has a chance. So we thought what was going to be a sprint to the finish. Paul Tracy gets in a battle with Scott Pruitt, gets off the edge of the circuit. Tracy's into the tire barrier and will full course yellow again. Well, the corner workers got Paul Tracy push started, and so we're back to green flag. The green just came out. Michael Andretti, of course, leading his teammate. There's where that mistake happened, 1 lap before the yellow. And Danny, what happened was it looked like he just got offline. Is that it?
It looked like he just got offline, went a little bit wide. Michael took advantage of it, slipped right up underneath him. There wasn't anything that Christian could do about it.
Sun's shining here now. You saw Michael, though, hit 2 puddles, so it's still damp in some places. Jerry Punt.
Just talked a moment ago with Nigel Beresford, who's the engineer for Paul Tracy. He says Paul told him that he got a little bit of an assist, got a little push from behind by Pruitt. That's the reason his car ended up over the tire barrier.
All right, well, we'll take a look at Scott Pruitt's car, make sure there's no damage there. Interesting report. We had confirmation of that from some of the spotters on the circuit. Jack Arute?
Well, let's update you on Bobby Rahal's problem. It wasn't as big a mechanical as it was you got in the paint.
Yeah, just going into that corner, the white stripe, there's no grip on it, and I just got my left front wheel onto it, trying to, maximize my speed, and it locked the left front brake up, and when I went to try to turn into the corner, it didn't turn, and it just got out wide in the wet stuff, and boom, off a wind. So entirely my fault.
The Miller team will be at Portland, though, Paul, and look for this guy. He's still looking for a podium.
Whoa! Pruitt was chasing DeFerrin for 3rd place, and Pruitt loses it, and I'll bet that means full course caution again.
It's got to. That's right at the spot where Little Al went off. It looked like he came in there hot, trying to gain a little bit on DeFerrin, hit the brakes, locked him up, and spun around.
Scott Pruitt, car looks to be okay, but again, we'll go, no doubt, to full course caution, though they haven't done that yet. We look down to see the starter stand position, and now we go full course caution. So with the time running out, we're sitting about 5 minutes away from the end of this run, which is scheduled as a 2-hour run now. and not the full distance scheduled of 77 laps. So Michael Andretti and Christian Fittipaldi will have to battle again through a restart. And the EDS scoring people supplying the computer feeds to all the teams, they have been very busy today trying to keep all of the order updated in the interval. There's Pruitt as he lost it behind DeFerrin.
And he just looks like he came in there too hot and tried to move the car around, got the back end wiggling a little bit, and lost it under braking.
Counting down now with 4 minutes remaining in the run. Looks like they may get back for just a single lap of racing.
Well, they should get that car out of the way pretty quick. It was just kind of slid in backwards. They should be able to turn it around and go. The barriers, I don't think. They just threw the fencing up. I think it'll be a quick cleanup.
Well, they got Scott Pruitt refired and rolled away from the area. They're hustling back to the different safety positions now. There's Scott Pruitt as he tries to catch up with the group. So obviously his car, at least at these speeds, is okay. And we will assume that he wouldn't drive it if it weren't ready to run at racing speeds when they come back. So we'll see the green flag this time by. And keep an eye on the front of that field. Michael Andretti, Christian Fittipaldi, Adrian Fernandez, all right together. Coming up on 3 minutes now. 3 minutes to the checkered flag. And the first 9 cars are all on the leader lap, all the way back to P.J. Jones, who may be bringing Toyota their first top 10 finish. Well, what's going through these guys' mind? Danny, what would you do if you were sitting in second?
Well, I've got to think of the same thing as Michael. I've got to have a great restart. I've got to stay right there, as close up underneath that gearbox as I can, and try to find a way by him and hope I can force him to make a mistake or leave the door open, because I know right now if I'm Christian Fittipaldi, I don't have much chance and very few opportunities between now and the end of this race.
All right, just a tick over 2 minutes to go now to the checkered flag. Michael Andretti, I'm sure he's thinking about what Christian's going to do. Christian's trying to make the move that will help him. DeFerrin's right there. Pace picks up. Here we go again. The final laps.
That's not the restart I wanted.
Down. No, not at all. Boy, Michael really got the jump on him, and they spread out on that restart. Michael Andretti pulling away now. Coming down a minute and a half to the end of the run. So next time by, it'll be the white flag, and they'll start the final lap of the run.
Boy, he's
Michael
really
Andretti pulling away. 1 minute to the checkered flag. Looking for the checker to come out now as Michael Andretti, 2 in a row on the oval, the mile at Milwaukee, and now with a move that jumps him around his teammate here in the closing laps, he picks up the lead. Christian Fittipaldi, who had been dominant and powerful throughout the day, and Michael Andretti circling Belle Isle and looking for a checkered flag.
I've got a feeling he might have to go one more lap. One lap to go.
1 to go. You heard Lee White tell him. So the race time will run out in about 30 seconds now. They've already given Michael the white flag, showing him just 1 lap to go. So it'll be checkered next time around. And Michael Andretti, if his teammate can't catch him, will see back-to-back wins. The same for Lola, for Ford Cosworth, and for Goodyear. But boy, I tell you what, he's still pushing that car pretty heavy.
He was sliding it around there really strong for the last lap, having that cushion he's got. A little bit more cautious out there on the straight.
Well, Michael Andretti on his final circuit here at Belle Isle at the ITT Automotive Detroit Grand Prix. We're listening to his radio as he runs for the checkered flag. Doesn't seem like Christian Fittipaldi can do much about catching Michael Andretti. Boy, look at how he's pulled away. In fact, Christian now under a bit of attack by Jill DeFerrin. That crackling sound, that is the radios. As we listen in, now DeFerrin pulls back off of Fittipaldi, And here Michael takes the final tight turn for home. And the checkered flag lies just ahead. And Michael Andretti scores.
It just cost me $1,000, though.
Scores race win 33 in his IndyCar career. We'll have to find out what the $1,000 was all about. As Michael Andretti takes the win, Christian Fittipaldi second, followed by DeFerrin, Fernandez, Mark Blundell, Eddie Lawson, Stefan Johansson, Raul Boesel is 8th, and 9th, P.J. Jones, and Scott Pruitt, the pole sitter, finishes in 10th. So the points tighten up even more.
Call now for your free travel planner, including free map and discount coupons. 1-800-8-ISLAND.
Taking the win, Newman Haas 1-2 as we take a look at the unofficial results here. Some excellent performances here today. Stefan Johansson started in 22nd, finished in 7th. Eddie Lawson, 23rd, moved up into 6th place. And we mentioned P.J. Jones with a nice effort, comes into the top 10, first time ever for Toyota. So there is the order, and Jimmy Vasser managed to get into the points, the single point for 12th position, while Al Unser Jr. Goes away with no points whatsoever. An interesting day, started in rain and ends up with Newman Haas finishing 1-2 and Michael Andretti scoring 2 in a row. So there is the order. Michel Jourdain, of course, did not take the flag. Jack Arute?
And the first thing the crew said to Michael is 400,000 comedians out of work. You had to make us really fret about that one. First, tell me about that pass on your teammate.
I really felt bad for him. I mean, he did a great job the whole race, and he just got a little wide in one corner. I had to try to get him, and I was lucky enough to get him. But he did a great job, and he really deserved to win the race.
A good run by Newman Haas. Let's check in with the other teammate. He's with Jerry Punch.
Christian Fittipaldi shaking hands with Paul Newman. Christian, great effort for you. What happened on that next to the last restart when your partner got by you?
Well, I just braked a little bit too late, and the car went sideways, and I couldn't hold Michael. There was a little bit of difference in the car. I had wet setup in the car. My car was running a little bit higher, and it had a little bit less camber. So when it went dry, it was harder for me in the race than when it was wet. And when it was wet, I was dominating like the race. Like the guys gave me a fantastic car. Like I think that most of the effort I really owe to the team. But still, it was a good finish. At least we scored 1-2, and the championship's still wide open.
All right, a gallant effort by the young Brazilian, Paul.
Well, a nice job by Christian Fittipaldi. Michael's right. He certainly deserved to win, but of course that's not the way it plays out when you have an error like that. Jimmy Vasser picks up at 1 point, is still the points leader, Al Unser Jr. But boy, look at the rest of the points as they close in. And in the manufacturers battle right now, as we're keeping track of all of the different battles here. Manufacturers point, Ford 1 point ahead of Honda. Let's go to Jack Arute.
Well, looking straight into the camera, Gilles DeFerrin, tell us about that run.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that. I was, well, happy and not so happy. It was just not fast enough to catch the first two, but still, I hope this is the beginning of a comeback in the championship.
Well, that's the most important thing at this point in time. The race for the championship. Everybody looking for valuable points.
Very definitely what everybody's thinking about as they look now toward the end of the season. And Sully Star?
P.J. Jones, second Indy start, 25th to 9th, lead lap. And it was a new car and that new development Toyota engine. I think he did a fabulous job today.
Well, it started with a downpour, and it's going to end in the sunshine. And the sun has shone on Michael Andretti 2 in a row. We'll see you in 2 weeks at Portland.